Hello, and welcome to Stretching the Word. I'm your host, Sister Valerie, and not today, devil, just not this year. This year, even within the last month, a lot of things have happened in my life. A lot of things have happened in your life, I'm sure. A lot of things have happened in the world. And, sometimes when things happen in our lives and in the world, we go, oh Lord, and we really get down to business with God. And then the pressure may let up and we kind of slack off. Well, it's no time to slack off. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 58. And it says, therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast and unmovable. I want to stop right there for a minute. Steadfast. It says, be steadfast. It means what? Stand your ground. You know, things are yet gonna be coming up on us in our lives. Things are yet gonna be happening in the world. Don't turn into that chameleon. Don't be wishy-washy. Don't start going with the crowd because it's holiday season for one, and that brings with it its own set of spirits. So be steadfast. We still have to stand our ground. Yes, some things in our lives have changed. Some things in the world have changed, whether you wanted it for good or for bad. But we still have to stand our ground. Why? Because God is still standing his ground. He's not changing for you. He's not changing for no one. As C.C. Winan says, if God be God, let God be God. Regardless of what come or what go, we still have to stand our ground. I know, but the word says, be not weary in well doing. If you've been doing well, continue to do well. If you've been trusting in God, continue to trust in God. I know he does not show up necessarily when we want to, but ask yourself the question, has he ever failed you yet? So, with that being said, stand your ground, yet holding on to the faith, yet believing and standing on the word of God. And then it says, unmovable. So that means don't move. What comes, what goes, don't move. If you know that God is God, then let God be God. Because he promised not to let us be made ashamed. He promised never to leave us or forsake us. There are certain promises in the word of God that he's not ever taking back. He's never taken back any of his word. So what do we have to do? We have to be steadfast. We have to stand our ground. When the devil comes, and he's always coming, he always is going to come. It says he's always roaming around, seeking whom he may devour. So he's there. You might say, okay, yeah. Yeah, I put him in his place. And guess what? 5 minutes after that, he's going to try something else. But we always have to stand our ground. We always have to be watchful. And we always have to be prayerful. So it doesn't matter what comes or what goes in our lives. Know that God is faithful, and that's it. So God is God. We just have to be steadfast and unmovable. And last part says, always abounding in the work of the Lord, knowing that your labor is not in vain in the Lord.